Hi, welcome back to another programming stream that we have for today. Kitty is, as always, just sleeping like a little angel, but I've got my energy drink right here, trying to get awake to start another programming stream for you guys. So today we're basically going to continue where we left off yesterday, which is a Python challenge, and it's going to involve some machine learning. I was not able at all yesterday to actually understand the assignment, and that also gave off enough, information to tell me that I probably was streaming already for way too long yesterday. So that's why today we are picking it back up. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be about a love language and how to understand it. So hopefully today we have more luck with actually understanding the assignment, but we will just have to see. I can just watch him for hours, just sleeping there peacefully. And as always, we have the other cat right here. You can actually see her a little bit. You can see her head poking out. There, we have Lady. So I guess without further ado, I can start programming. Always a sad thing about stream, when we're just appreciating the cat and then I actually have to do something. Anyway, I have already sort of preloaded the assignments. So this is another kata, another challenge from Code Wars. This is level 6, so like the third easiest level, so it should be pretty doable. I think we can finish this within an hour, then maybe go even to a higher level, because this will be the last stream of the week, which means that, I should actually challenge myself this time, maybe. Something like that. So in this challenge, I'll just read it out to you. According to Gary Chapman, marriage counselor and the author of 5 Love Languages book, there are 5 major ways to express our love towards someone. Words of affection, quality time, gifts, acts of service, and physical touch. These are also called the love languages. Usually everyone has a main language, that one that he or she speaks and understands best. In a relationship, it's important to find your partner's main love language so that you can get along better with each other. So that's what this assignment is going to be about, using machine learning to figure out the love language of our partner. Your task, unfortunately, your relation... Oh, this is a new line. Unfortunately, your relationship got worse lately. After a long discussion with your partner, you agreed to give yourself a few weeks to improve. Otherwise, you will split up. You will be given a partner instance and N weeks. The partner has a .response method, and the response may be positive or neutral. You can try to get a response once a day. Thus you have N times 7 tries in total to find the main love language of your partner. The love language words. The love language are words, acts, gifts, time, and touch. They are all predefined as love language. Your partner will sometimes give you a positive response to any love language, a false positive, but the main one has a much higher possibility. On the other hand, you may get a neutral response even for the correct language, but with a low possibility, a false negative. So this is taken into account when we test our code. As they say above here, this is just like very detailed, not really that interesting, because it's not gonna matter that much. So I will just paste this above here, because if it doesn't matter that much, then we don't have to look at it that much. So we have got the function already imported based on the Code Wars Kata training arena, whatever you want to call it. So we have preloaded installed, and we are importing love languages. So I wonder what this actually is, because love language are the words and they're predefined. So I wonder if we need to use it or if this is just being used to call the function. I don't know. And oh, I think it's because we have a partner with a method with the response. So if we used partner dot response, like as mentioned here, we should get a response based on, I think, one of the love languages that we are providing it. I am still not completely understanding this challenge. I do understand the weeks. The weeks is the number of times we can try. But how do we try is the main thing that I'm wondering. I have the code here. Oh. Yeah, we will definitely not give up yet because it's only been 5 minutes. So no, giving up is not an option indeed. Okay, let's go to this kata. Maybe we can, because here is a sample test, and sometimes within the sample test we can find some information that might be useful. Okay, so this is the way that they are testing it, which is good to know. Wait, let me zoom in a little bit so you can read it better, but I will go back to the code anyway. Let's take some inspiration from here so we can also test this ourselves. So they provide a number of weeks, they provide the partner, which is a test partner that we do not have, but they basically... So, okay, they... How goes it? Hi, elemental magic cards. Alright, still trying to understand the challenge, mostly. So I think what they do is the partner has a number of weeks as well as a love language. And then when we provided a partner as well as a number of weeks, we need to output what the partner wants, basically. So the way that we're calling the function, Kimi wo nosete, what? What are you telling me? Okay, we are given a partner, but then what actually is the current song? Oh, I have no clue. I just put on a playlist. It's a justification of Ghibli music. Could be, but it doesn't sound familiar to me per se. Nor does this song sound familiar to me, to be honest. At least we know the weeks. Which is basically 6 in this case, for example. And I guess for the partner we provide words. Oh yeah. That you recognize it that quickly, that's nice. I assume you're also a Ghibli fan then. Let me go back to the code. What are we trying to solve? Good question. Right now we're trying to solve how to even start with this challenge. Hi, Bumblebeetler, welcome. So basically what we need to do is we are given a partner, and the partner has a love language, but we basically don't know the love language beforehand. So what we then need to do is figure out the love language with our function that we need to create. There are 5 possibilities. They're all available in love languages, so I guess we should use that. And then we have a number of weeks to try and find the love language of our partner. So that means that basically we need to figure out how our partner responds to a certain item in this 5-item list. And if it's positive, then we would like to repeat it. And if it's neutral, then we would like to skip it and move on to a different love language. And we can try once a day. But currently I'm a bit stuck at how to actually use the function. I don't understand, for example, why they are just returning words. And also I assume that the love language, so our partner responds well to words, but that we don't know beforehand. We still need to return words. I'm a bit unsure. Okay, this example might be better. Do you say partner words, for instance? Yeah, that's indeed the question I'm trying to answer. You already posted your solution to Discord as well, but to give you a hint, try a bunch of times how your partner responds to different love languages and save them somewhere. Okay. Indeed, I think that's similar to the response they have over here. So, partner that responds to words is positive. So basically what we want to do is we want to call the function or the method, the response on our partner, and then check the outcome. This seems like a dictionary, doesn't it? I think what we will then do is we will calculate the number of times we can try. So based on the number of weeks times 7, we know the number of days, and we can try it once a day. And then we will probably want a dictionary with all the love language possibilities, such as words X, words time. Go through one of them at least once to see how well they respond. If the response is positive, then we would like to try again and again and again until we find something that always works. Elemental Magic card says, I guess you create a list of the words you can use and then iterate over the list until you get a positive response, and then repeat that until you have called response 6 times. Yeah, however, I think it's best not to loop over one thing that has a positive response, because there are the cases of false positive and false negative. So in that case, since we know every single time we have at least 7 tries and we have 5 elements in the list, we need to loop over everything at least once, and then maybe a second time, and see if the response is the same in both cases. And if the response is not the same in both cases, we need to retry that to figure out whether it was a false positive or a false negative in there. Yeah, then I would say that the 1 is positive and the 0 would be neutral, so we can make it into a boolean instead of a string to make it a bit more efficient. Since this is a binary classification, that would just be better. Okay, so I think we definitely have a start here. Okay, so what we want to return is language, which I spelled correctly actually, and currently, because we don't know yet, our language is an empty string, because we don't know the language of our partner yet. Okay, so first calculate the possible, yeah, the number of tries, which is tries, and that would be weeks times 7. So that's gonna be our... It's probably gonna be a while loop then, because if it exceeds the number of tries, then we need to return the best possible answer. So we will have a counter. Counter that we have tried. Nah, just a counter, that's clear enough. So currently it is 0. And while counter is less or equal than the number of tries, we can do something. Do something. Wait, how is a while loop structured again? Python. I don't use them often. Python while loop. Please stop translating web pages to Dutch. Thank you. Well, you don't... Okay, so you can break or you can continue and it will just continue unless... So you do not need to return anything in a while loop, basically, is what I wanted to know. Okay. So here we are trying everything, basically. Okay. I think a dictionary would be the best way to go about this. So our love dictionary is gonna be words, and it will be, everything would start with a 0, I would say. The next one is acts, because it's gonna be a boolean. The next one is gifts. Then we have time. Are you guys writing this down as well, you know? Learning? Learning for your own relationship, what you're supposed to do with it? Last one, touch. Okay, there we go. What would the boolean represent? Good question. So the dictionary consists of possible acts with boolean, one for positive and 0 for neutral. Like this. I realize now how much I've done wrong. Oh, that's okay, we're here to learn. So... No, it's gonna start with an empty list. Because we're gonna at least try twice to make sure that we do not get any false positives or false negatives. So first things first is... Okay. Check everything twice to find false positives / negatives. Because we don't want to think like, oh, our partner responded neutral to this one thing, so we're not gonna test on that again, because it could be a false negative, and then it could, you know, still be the love language that we were actually looking after. So that's why I want to try it twice. If it's the same in both times, I will assume it's not a false positive or a false negative. Now, if you were to do this like actual machine learning style, you would probably try it a couple more times than just twice. But given the fact that that would take us 1.5 weeks and we have a set number of weeks, I think twice is just enough that we need. And hi, welcome to Procrastination Frog, very nice name. You remind me of our little cat here who is, I mean, I guess it's not procrastination because he doesn't have to do anything, but he's also not doing anything. Elemental says, how about putting all the words into a queue and putting them back into the queue if we get a positive? Because eventually we will be... so my vision is we have this dictionary here and we will go for it at least twice, and then I want to check in the items of the list if they are both equal to each other, so if they're both 0 or both 1. But it could be the case that we've looked through it 2 times and, for example, words and acts both have 2 positive outcomes. So then we need to decide between words and acts which one is mostly guaranteed to provide us with a positive outcome. So we would then have to loop over them again until we find a winner. So that's why I think working with a dictionary and a list would be the best, because we could try things for like 10 times. And I do not know how that would be represented in a queue necessarily. Okay, so check everything twice to find a false positive or a false negative. How are we gonna check everything twice? Based on the example that we have, we can use partner.response and then get an element from the dictionary. So I'll probably be looping through the dictionary. So for every item in our love dictionary, the keys, because we're mostly interested in the keys right now. I mean, if you put all the words in a queue and repeatedly dequeue them, putting them back if you get a positive, you will loop over all the words that are never returned negative. Hi, Rygons. Yeah, that's exactly the thing that I was thinking about. It doesn't handle false negatives well. It basically doesn't handle false negatives at all. I mean, I do get what you mean. It's probably gonna be a bit more efficient than going through a dictionary. But yeah, how would we then go about the false negatives? So here we are looping through the dictionary. So for every item in our dictionary keys, we want to check partner dot hi Matteo, I assume your name is Matthios. Welcome. I'm glad that you are enjoying yourself. Let's see. And Rygons. Yeah, who just joined the chat. Welcome. I just want to take a look at... Yeah, okay, it was partner.response and then the item. Okay, so partner.response and then the item is incorrect. And Elemental, welcome. Welcome everybody, I guess. I'm glad you are enjoying yourself. Solved in JavaScript? Seriously, Dragon? I'm not gonna pronounce your full name. Well, if you've solved it already, you do kind of like need to prove it by putting it in Discord. Yeah, this is still at quite an easy level. What are you trying to tell me here? That I'm terrible at coding, huh? Because, well, I'm not the best, no. Is it some algorithm problem? It's some basic machine learning handling, yeah. It's very low level, you know, writing it yourself. Instead of, I wouldn't call this an algorithm by any means. It's just, it's not even math at this point. Okay, I will call this partners response. Why expression cannot be assigned targets? Why is this happening? Because I think... Oh, this is the wrong one. I think I'm doing it just according to... partner.response. I mean, I do feel like I have structured my function in a bit of a wrong way. Partner.response I returns a string. Yes. Oh wait, if I just structured this line incorrect, is it... yeah. It's like this. I don't know why the other way around would have worked. You are calling a method which returns a value. You can't assign it back. There's no storage location there. Yeah, I don't know why I thought that that was just gonna work. It sounds more logical, yeah, because the other way around just works. So, okay, so we have now our partner's response. And that's probably the thing. Yeah, I was trying to do it like this, where we are indexing our love dictionary. Wait. I need to create a boolean first. This is gonna be some spaghetti code, I'm afraid. If is instance partner response positive, then what we want to do. Positive is not defined, it's a fucking string, bitch. Why do I need to what do you... This instance, can you just... No, this is not what I wanted, no. Okay, what I just want to check if partner response is equal to the string positive. That would work, yeah. Okay, so if partner's response is positive, then in our dictionary, indexing at the current item that we are looping through would be it's an empty list and I want to put in a 1. Yeah, the reason why I am putting in lists in my dictionary is because I want to loop over them multiple times and check the outcome if it's the same as the previous outcome to avoid false positive or false negatives. But I could also do it in a different way, yes. How I could also do it is... Yeah, no, I'm gonna stick with it. I'm gonna stick with it because I will loop for it multiple times. And I want to indeed save every single outcome. Yeah. Append... Okay, what's the best way in Python? Is it the best way to assign a 0 or a 1 or a false or a true? Yeah, indeed. Positive is 1 and neutral is 0. I guess I can just append a 0 or 1. That's most obvious, I guess. So if it's the same as positive, we are appending a 1. If that's not the case, then our love dictionary will be appended with a 0. Like this. And then I probably want to go do this twice. And because we have 5 items, then if a counter is less than or equal to 10, we are gonna perform this. Because if it's exceeding 10, that means that we've already gone for everything twice, and then we're gonna go over to the next step, which is retest the false outcomes, basically. What do we think so far? Is it so far looking about alright, or am I just delusional? I think so far it's pretty clear. It's pretty clear what we're trying to do. Might not be the most efficient way to go about it, but I mean... You understand, right? You think I'm making it too complicated? Oh. I thought I was taking it too easy. Interesting. European accent? Definitely, yes. Could you guess which country, though? I'm not gonna give it away just yet. Okay. So probably we're gonna loop through the dictionary again. And then for I in love dict dot keys. Suit, I notice. So now I want to check if the items, so we have a list currently with 2 items in it, and we want to check if the items are the same. I guess we could do that by checking if there's a unique value in there. If it's not, then we pass. Let's see. I could also do indexing, checking if the first item is equal to the second item. Then we pass it. I don't know which one would be better. I think looking for a unique value. Is that what a set is doing? Could we use a set here? Hi, Björn Jaguar. Or something like that. Welcome. You guess my background is math, machine learning, AI, since I'm using Python Notebook. Jupyter Notebook, actually. I guess your background isn't in math/ML/AI. Just kidding. Yes, basically. No math though. I am terrible at math. We sometimes have coding challenges where there's like some degree of math involved, and I usually just completely fail at understanding the math part instead of failing at being able to program it. But yeah, I work with data, basically. I indeed work with machine learning. That's how I got started. That's what I'm continuing to do. That's basically the only thing I know. And come on, no hate against Jupyter Notebooks. They are nice because now you can just see what you're supposed to do. I understand debugging is not a thing right here, but they are simple things that we're doing. I mean, I can still be stuck with something for 2 hours, but they should be simple. Okay, so Python get unique value from list. This is what I want. How do I do this again? Yeah, it's set. Okay, so how to use set? Set is a method or a function? Fuck you, stop translating it. Just keep it in English. Yeah, it's a function, okay? Okay. Let's then continue with... items list is equal to the love dictionary indexed at I. And then our unique list would be the set of our items lists, and if the length of the unique lists is equal to 0, then we pass. And else there is a false positive / negative happening. Print your list before you decide what to do next. Hi Phil, welcome back. I'm a bit hesitant about testing the code because in general I do not know how they are testing it. Can the length be 0 of a set, you mean? Interesting. Okay, so let's try it out. A good question indeed. I have 2 zeros in my list. Then I create a set out of my tests. And then I would like to see test 2. Ha. Ah, yeah. Okay. This is indeed not what we want to do. It gives back all the unique values, but it doesn't check if it's unique in the first place. Okay. I also feel like... No, but it checks. You again. Who are you talking to? Oh, Nsweep. Welcome as well, Nsweep. It does check, but how do I get the outcome of that check? Because what I'm also thinking about is we could also do with test having 2 the same values. If test indexed at 0 is the same as test indexed at 1, then print no. You know, this would also work. And this would be 1 line of code instead of 3 lines of code. The length of the set is equal to 1 should also check or not. That's true. It's so new in Twitch and fun watching people solving code words for different... Oh, thanks. I appreciate it. I indeed don't see many people doing this on our little category that we have on Twitch. I do sometimes wonder if there's a reason why nobody's doing this. Okay, so then we have our love dictionary. I sometimes now, because somebody mentioned my accent, I have now noticed that I slightly pay more attention to my accent, and I'm like, yeah, I didn't pronounce that word correctly. I'm sorry if I'm sometimes not as understandable as I could have been. Okay, indexing in dictionaries. I fucking hate this because I'm terrible at it. We have our love dictionary. We have our I, which is the key. And then we want to get the first item in the list, which is an item. So I think like so. This would work. And then this would be indexed at 1. Wait, let me check. Let me just check. We have our love dicts just have tests with a list of 0 and 0. Else, if this is not the case, okay, this works. This should work, yes, indeed. So, okay, if we have our love dictionary and the current key, and the first item in the list is the same as the second item in the list, that's good. That's good. That's what we want. This means that if the first time we tested one of our 5 love languages, and it has the same result as the second time when we tested it, that's great, because then we do not have any false positive or false negative, because the purpose is to figure out whether our partner has responded positively or neutral to our love language, and if they are different in the both times that we've tested it, we need to test it again to figure out which one was correct. So that's what we're gonna do over here. So if this is the case, then the love language, I guess I don't need to specify it, because right down here we have an else statement with there is a false positive or negative. Right now it's an infinite loop. Yeah. Increase the counter. That's a good one. I indeed didn't do it. I probably would have completely forgotten about it if you didn't tell me, to be honest. So right here, our counter goes up with 1. Yeah. Let's see. So if there is a false positive or a false negative, we want to test it again. And we have I, which is the item in our dictionary here. So it's perfect, so I can do it the same as here. It's not in the loop right now. Good one, yeah. Totally right. I should just paste it in the beginning. It's also a lot more clear. The counter, yeah. I do not really like this part though, where I check if it's positive or neutral and then I append either a 1 or a 0. The reason why I don't like it, because if I just append the positive or neutral instead of a 1 or a 0, I would be able to skip these 2 lines of codes, and I see now that I need to append this a couple of times in my function, so saving 3 lines of code every single time, I think that's worth it to not have a 1 or a 0 in there. It is not the best way if you're going to do this on large scale. You want to work with 1s and 0s, not with actual strings of positive or neutral, but for the sake of having some cleaner code, I think I'm going to go for it. What's happening here? Great question. I can definitely, if you want to attempt yourself, this challenge we are trying to do, we are trying to figure out the love language of our partner, and there are 5 possible love languages: words, actions, gifts, time, and touch. And we need to figure it out by just trying. And that's what we're doing here with a partner.response, and see if our partner responds positive or neutral. And based on that, we want to figure out the love language that they respond most positively to every single time. And then we pick that one as our love language, and that's what we're gonna return from our function. But what I'm currently doing is checking for false positive or negatives, because we don't want to just try everything once, and if it has a negative response, we don't want to try it ever again, because that means that we might have missed out on something if it was a false negative. Bumblebeater says, I think replacing line 22 with love dictionary indexed at the item, the key, append partner response I would be the needed solution. I like that one. I like that one indeed. Hi Pylang, welcome back. Yeah, that would clean up not just 3 lines of code, that would clean up 5 lines of code. Nice. Okay, so we are going back to our dictionary with all the love languages, indexing it at the item that we are currently at in our loop. Then we are appending, because our item there is a list, and we want to append our partner that responds. And our partner is responding to the item that we currently have in the loop. Yeah. That's so much better, thanks. I like it a lot. Okay, so again, here we are checking if the first try is equal to the second try. If that's the case, there's nothing we need to do. But if that's not the case, then we would like to append it another time. And I think at the same time, because we need to test it again, but I also want to check it again right now before going any further. I think on line 25 you may got an a key error, as there may be less than 2 items in the dictionary. That will not be the case, because good question or good catch, because we will loop through our dictionary 10 times before we even go to this part, so that means that everything has been tested twice. Remember, the probability of true positive is much higher than a false positive. Yes, that's why I think testing it only twice before making a final decision is enough. Right? If you don't agree with me, then you know, you can just say, and maybe we can look at something else. A different approach. So in this case, we have a third item, and then what we now want to know is whether the positive or the neutral has occurred the most. In a dictionary, you want to know. No, in a list, you want to know which item occurs the most. And the item will be a string. I bet that there's some sort of Python function out there to solve this. Let's look it up. Python function return most occurrence in a list of strings. Most common methods. That sounds like something that I would like to use. From counter we have most common. Does it also work on a string though? What do you mean, Dragon Meow? With the 2 positive and 5 neutral? Yes, that would be indeed the case. Yeah. Bumblebeatler says, are you sure you are iterating over each key twice? Because we only have a single loop over iterating over the keys. Yeah, no, I get what you mean. Yeah, that's indeed something I'm doing wrong here. Because it is a while loop, but it will go over this once. And then it will continue here, but that's not what we want. If it has gone over here once, then we want to break and go over it again. Oh, that's gonna be so how? It's better to copy your code into CodeWars to print it out before you decide what's next. Hi, Skigama. Welcome. And no, we leave debugging to the very end when we've written all of our code already. That's how you become a good coder, if you didn't know yet. Just kidding. Okay, what I could just do is if counter is less or equal than 10, we are gonna be doing this right here. And then this is gonna be out of the while loop. If gifts returns a 1 every single time, gift is a solution. Yes, but it could also have returned a 0 once. It would then still be the solution. And Prostel, I'm loving your emotes, by the way. Okay, so now we are checking if we've gone through everything twice. But this is assuming... Okay, the counter needs to be less or equal than 10 and less or equal than the number of tries. So it's still wrong because at every while iteration you are iterating over the dict keys. Yeah. 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 If other love dict has fewer frequency of 1, are they the solution? I would say if one item of the love dictionary would have a fewer frequency than 1 compared to another item, then the other item would be the solution. And hi, the man, Opak. Welcome. Okay, how am I gonna... figure this out? So what I want here is I want to go through my dictionary twice. But I do have a set number of tries, which could be 7, it could be 14, it could be 50. But every single time when I loop over my dictionary, it is 1 try. So I do need to check if the counter of the amount of times that I've gone through my dictionary is less than tries. But I also want it to be less than 10 because I only want to check it twice. And hi, Nikolai Barkalov. Welcome. I'm thinking best solution here. Because right now we have a counter needs to be less than 10, which is fine, but we're going over here. What I could do, would this work? So the counter needs to be less than 10, and it goes up by 1 every single time I go over this. And when it goes over every single time, then it would have gone over 5 times, so the count would be 5 if we gone for the dictionary once. So if this is completed, our for loop, the count would be 5. Then it's gonna continue doing this again, but then when it returns, it will be 10, and it's not less than 10, so that would work. Yeah, we are cooking Code Wars. Yeah, we are trying to find out, based on all of these items in our dictionary, which are the 5 different love languages, which one will have the best response from a partner. And the response from a partner is generated, not randomly, sort of randomly, I guess. So we're trying to figure out if they are responding positively or neutral to it. But there could also be false positives and false negatives. So that's why I want to go over all the items at least twice to figure out whether we have a false positive or a false negative in there. So I think this works. If the counter is less than 10, which it will be for 2 times to be able to look through it, the 3rd time it's going to be too much, so it's going to break. And that means that if this is done, we have checked everything twice, and then we're going to recheck for false positives. So for every item in the dictionary, we want to check if the first item is equal to the second item, because we've tested it twice. If that's the case, there's nothing we need to do about it, but if that's not the case, we want to try again. So we are again generating a response and appending it to our lists. So then it comes to, yeah, figuring out which one occurs the most. Why are you restricting yourself with 2 initial tries? Because I feel like they would be sufficient, but it is kind of an arbitrary way. I could also calculate the number of tries we have in total and then like take the first 20% of it. But you know, this is a start, I guess, then. And welcome, PC Ho. Welcome. Why aren't you looping over and over through the dictionary and save all weeks times 7 results? Because if we have 2 negative responses in the first 2 tries, then I would like to not try that one again. So we can focus our efforts more on the things that might be able to work. Time to test at Code Wars. Why? But it is possible that those 2 could be a false negative. Yeah, but a possibility of not having a false negative or positive is higher. So I assume that 2 is fine. But I mean, we could also make this to 3 tries. Then we just need to have a check if we can even do 3 tries of all the possibilities. For now, what I will focus on though is checking if this most common is something that we can use from the counter. No, I just want to go to the fucking documentation. Thank you. Return a list of the n most common elements and their count from the most common to the least. Okay, and it can just be a string. Okay, so what I could do for now is okay, I'll just call this possible solution. Wait, I need to import something first. What is this one called again? Need to import counter. From collections import counter. I hope that then most common works. Would this work? Love dict indexed at I. Not most common. Doesn't look like this is gonna work. And then index it at the first item, which is going to be the possible. I'm unsure. I am unsure about this approach. Let me, before I go any further, I want to see this. No, wait. Print it out. Well, possible solution. Because right now, even if we have then a possible solution, then how much further are we gonna get? We need to then remove it from a dictionary if it's negative, I guess. That would be a way to go about this. What do you think, Kitty? Huh? What do you think? Your paws are dirty and you're showing it off. Exactly, you better hide them. Gonna walk away, huh? That bitch. That bitch just walking away. Where is he gonna go? Well, at least I still have a little lady over here. You cannot see her right now, but she is still perfect in this position. She is immensely covered by animals running across the screen. But yeah, I guess I should go back to testing the code. Does this even work? I don't even know how to run this function because I don't fully understand how they want me to run this function. Yeah, no. Hi, Sarah Lunatic. Thank you for complimenting my cat cam transformation. I do it a lot. Most of my time I spent with my cat cam. Okay, so we have cannot import name love language from preloaded. Okay, fine, fuck you. Can it do it when I just am in Code Wars? I swear it was not for the cat cam. Oh, the cam transition. Oh, nice. Yeah, okay, it's giving us the results of the random test, which of course they are wrong. We know that they are wrong, but I just want to check the output. I just want to check the print statements, but it's something that I can't do. Because somehow locally I cannot import the love languages. Totally not fucking annoying. Thanks. Anyway, the most common object has no attribute. The list has no. The list object has no attribute most common. Okay, that's something that I can work with. Yeah, I was already doubting that. I don't know how to call it. Love languages is just a list containing possible acts. You can create it yourself. Yeah, but I'm also kind of wondering, a good thing that you say, because indeed that's how they called it in the beginning. Yeah, my fucking counter, I don't understand what's going wrong here exactly. What if I just like don't have that line because I don't need it? Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. So when we use partner, we can generate a response. And that's what I think we need the love languages for, because how is our partner gonna generate a response? You know? Is that something we need to build ourselves in this function? I think this kata is a bit not well explained. I've never had this much trouble understanding a challenge on Code Wars. I just don't understand how to run this function. I know what I'm supposed to do with it, I know what the solution is supposed to look like, but I don't understand how am I supposed to execute the function. But hi, Goswanem, welcome. It's imported at Code Wars for you. You can test at local. Partner class is written on their side, I think. You cannot test it locally, I assume. Oh, okay, but fucking hell, why can I not test it locally, you know? Usually you can. Because it's nice if you get some actual good output. But fine, I guess I will then have to test it in Code Wars itself instead of being able to run it locally. Fine, whatever, it's not like I care. Going back to the imports of my most no. It's okay. I just want to be able to test it locally. Ah, the cat is back indeed. Welcome back, kitty catty. Oh, you're showing off your butt to us. Are you unhappy with us or something? Now you're showing everybody how not well kept your fur actually is. That's not the way I like you to be. Now it looks like I'm a bad owner. He's old, okay? He's very old. Just what is he doing? He is 17 years old, by the way. So excuse me if his fur doesn't look like it's well kept. I know. He doesn't clean himself anymore. Please stay in frame. Oh no, he's not gonna stay in frame. I will have to adjust the camera, don't I? Kitty, are you really gonna make me get up and adjust the camera? Dragon says, because the partner library is custom function created only for this question, it's not a standard common library in Python. However, I was able to import the library locally, so that's why I expected it to work. But I guess not. Give me a second while I adjust the cat cam. I'll be back in literally a second. Not literally a second, in almost a second. Hi and welcome to Math Paniatko. Why don't you guys make this any easier for me? Why are your names always so difficult to pronounce? They don't make much sense. Please, take my feelings into account next time you create a username. No, just kidding. So basically we cannot test it locally. Okay, fine. And my most common counter. I'm not using it correctly. Let's check out how... How would be the proper way to use the most common counter? Do I first need to use the counter? First need to use the counter. And then the most common? It's not really the way I would like it to be. Oh, look at him. Look at him being adorable. Okay, he stopped being adorable now. He isn't looking at the camera anymore. The counter usage is quite common. Yeah. Okay, first we need to get a counter. And then we can take the most common from it. Fine. Okay. Solutions counter is gonna be capitalized counter of the keys of our love dictionary. And then we need to get that one in there and call most common methods. That's going to be the possible solution. And then like so. Yeah, the fucking annoying part about this, I'm sorry, it's just very frustrating. I just want to be able to now see the output, but when I cannot test it locally and I have to test it in Code Wars, they're not going to show me the print statement that I've just created, I want to see if it's actually working to some degree. I want to see if my possible solution is indeed what I thought it would be. But I don't know. Do you see any print statements here? No. Is this log? Is this a print statement? Wait, if I get my print statement out. Okay, fuck you. I am able to see my print statement. I retract all my, I retract everything I just said. I can, the log is print statement, I guess. No, it's not? Wait. No, it... But... I'm running the tests. Okay, so the first item of the possible solution. So this needs to be indexed twice in order to get what we want. Because what we want is indeed just the word neutral. Okay, this is something. This is something. So this is looking like a whole mess. Could I do it somewhat like this so I can skip this line here? Yeah, and now I need to copy and paste it every single time in Code Wars. Jesus, I don't like this. Yeah, okay, it is still working. That's nice. So I can remove at least one line of code because this is not looking the greatest. Okay, if the possible solution is equal to positive, then we know we actually need to do something. So if it's equal to neutral, let's start there, then we can just pass, because we don't... If the most common answer is neutral, we don't care about it. We want to have most common answer being positive. So if it's positive, then I guess what we should do is create a new list with all the positive with all the solutions that have had positive outcomes so far, I think. So positive outcomes. We want to append to that list with the item. Damn, I must excuse me for the fact that this is not looking like the best code. This is gonna be a whole bunch of code that could have been way more efficient, way better. But at least we're getting somewhere. And welcome, Holy Diva. Holy Diva. Welcome. Okay, so but if, in this case, if we do not have a false positive or a false negative, we still want to check if the item, it could be either one because they are the same. So if the item is equal to positive, the string positive, then we want to also append the item to our positive outcomes dictionary. Yeah, you don't need an if statement or an else statement, right? If you have an if statement, you can just use only one if statement. So this would save us a couple of lines of code. Okay. So let me walk you through what I think I've done. Here? No. Here we have a dictionary. This dictionary is filled with all the possible love languages. And we need to check within the number of tries that we have, which love language has the most positive outcomes. So first we're gonna check it just twice going over the dictionary to check if we will get the same outcome for both tries, to eliminate the false positive or the false negative. Now, it doesn't need to be the first 2 tries. We could have also done the first 3 tries or 4 tries, but this is just what I think I'm gonna stick with so far and hope that it works. What I do notice now is that I do need to... No, only... Okay, yeah. I will continue to walk through it. So I want to have a list with all the positive outcomes, so which means that the most common outcome so far has been positive. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go through my whole dictionary again to check and see if the first time we tested it is equal to the second time we've tested it. If that's the case, we want to check if it's positive. And if that's the case, we want to append it to our positive outcome. So this is most likely to have a positive reaction from a partner, so we want to keep on testing on this one. Now, if it's not the case, where they are not equal to each other, the first outcome and the second outcome, we need to try again. Now, because I'm calling here my partner and checking their response, that means that my counter also needs to go up with 1, because 1 try at our partner to see a response is 1 try, and we have a limited number of tries. So we're trying here, and we are appending it to our list in a dictionary. So now we have a 3rd try and a 3rd outcome. So what I want is to count all the unique elements in that list. So that's what I'm doing here with counter. And then I want to check the most common one, which will be put on the front. So that's what I'm indexing here. I want to take the first one because that's the most common. And I only want to have the word neutral. I don't want to have the word or the amount that it has occurred so far. And then if the possible solution, so if 2 out of the 3 tries was positive, I want to append it to the positive outcomes. If 2 out of the 3 tries was neutral, then we do not want to add it to our positive outcomes. That was a lot of talking. That was a lot of talking. Why can't you just count positive responses, then return one with biggest number? Well, I have made this too complicated, basically. Now that we have the positive outcomes, I want to only look at those. I want to skip everything that hasn't had the positive outcome most of the times. Thank you, Pailang, for that complimenting my explanation. Yeah, because this means that if we have negative outcomes for 2 out of the times, out of the tries, then we can just skip it. We can just ignore it. And we can continue with our list of positive outcomes. Yes, it's overcomplicated stuff, but it's something. And I think my cat will agree with me. Kitty, if you agree with me, then don't do anything and just keep on breathing. He agrees with me. There was slight movement? No, he agrees with me. He agrees with me, yes. Of course. Okay. Objection, leading the witness. He is not agreeing with you, Rainy. He doesn't agree with your objection, because then he would have done something, right? You know? Just have to play it smart. He's fucking adorable, isn't he? Yeah. I could look at this all day long. But that's not why you are here, unfortunately. You are here to see me fail at some code. Let's print the positive outcomes. To check and see how we are doing so far. Because I cannot test locally, I will go over to CodeWars and test it here. It's fine that the failed, because I haven't actually made a solution yet, but I do. Okay, so my positive outcomes, they are the not what I expect them to be. I expected them to be the words or the gifts, but this is the why they are chosen to be positive. Okay. So we currently have the items for my dictionary that are returned instead of the values for my dictionary that are returned. So let's fix that quickly. Yeah, then I think I need to do the dot keys, and I think that should solve it. Wait, I do not want to call the function at the bottom, so I can just select everything, copy and paste. Did I copy and paste correctly? Yes, I did. Oh, Fuck. Okay. Here comes in my limited understanding of dictionaries. Okay. Let's go over to a little code block. So no, wait. Yeah, I do want this code block. Okay, so if we have a dictionary, and I have a dictionary.keys in my for loop, and then I have my dictionary indexed at the item in the for loop. I want to have the actual item. So I do not need to index the dictionary at the item. I can just take the item. Yes, that's exactly what I wanted to know. Thank you guys. Thank you guys so much for helping me. I can just append the item in our dictionary instead of having to overcomplicate things. Okay, nice. So now that I've changed it to I instead of indexing the dictionary at I, that should mean that if I run this, I would see the print statement, which would have the words of our love language. Yeah, exactly. Acts, gifts, time, great. Nothing to find, I guess. Oh, that's a good one. If we so far, after having checked everything a couple of times, still do not have anything with positive results, we need to check again. Ugh. That's complicating things even more. Okay. Yeah, I now fully agree with the statement that has been made about an hour ago that I am overcomplicating things, because now that I'm going further and further down the line of getting to a solution, it's getting even more and more complicated. And I don't think that's necessary. But since I've been working on this for 1.5 hours, I'm just gonna continue and hope that it will be alright. What are we doing? Good question. So we are doing this assignment here above. Basically, it's a challenge where we have a partner and we need to figure out the love language of our partner. And the love language can be 5 different things. So words, acts, gifts, etc. Basically, we have a set number of tries or set number of amount of times we can try one of the possible love languages. And we want to see if our partner has if our partner has responded positively or neutrally to one of our love language tries. And that's what we're trying to do here. We're trying to figure out are there any false positives or false negatives, and which one actually has positive outcomes. And then the one with the most positive outcomes will be the one that is going to be our definitive love language, because eventually we need to choose one of the 5 love languages. Next time you will know to think simple, do less, embrace lazy. Yes, instead of overcomplicating, I guess. You've actually solved it already, me. Nice. So yeah, what I could do instead of continuing like this let me think. I could also just loop through the whole dictionary until instead I've reached having tried everything twice, I could continue until I have reached the maximum amount of tries I can do in general. then I would count the most common possible solution, like here, and then see which solution has the most positive overall. I think that's gonna be a better way to go about it, so let me walk you through my code and let me adjust it slightly. So language, this is the thing that we eventually want to return, the language that we are choosing. This is the dictionary with all the possible items, and this is the number of tries that we have in total. And this is the number of tries that we have had so far. So while the counter is then less or equal than the number of tries, we can try it. However, that does raise the issue that this while counter also has a for loop in it, which will go through the dictionary and it will add the counter, but it will add every single time we go for this for loop and we return back to the start of our while loop, we will add 5. So it might occur that we have already exceeded the number of tries before we are checking that. So that's something that I now need to figure out how to do this in a correct way. Maybe instead of a while loop, what I could do is put an if statement within the within the for loop. So if counter is less or equal than the number of tries, then we can actually continue. Else, I'm gonna do a simple print statement. Exceeded number of tries. Just when we're debugging or testing, then we know that we're doing it right. So, okay, if the counter is less than the number of tries we have, we can try. So first we will add to the counter because we have then tried once. I guess it would be most correct to add the counter after we've actually tried something. So here we are trying to append to our list in our dictionary the response from our partner for the item in a dictionary that we're currently looping through. Now, this does create the issue that we might have tested some love languages more than others. That's something that we have to look into. What is imported counter? I don't think it's being used. Good question, Veroni, and hi, Hatsa. The counter we are using right here, because that's indeed the next step. We are checking which outcome, either neutral or positive, has occurred the most, and the counter will count the amount of unique values in there, and then we are using the most common function or method, I must say, to check or to order based on most common to least common. So I'll add a little to do here. To do this causes some key items in dict to be tested more than others. Let's look at this in a little bit. First, we need to fix everything down here. You like listening to my logic as you code? It's very clear. It makes it easier on viewers to understand and help. Thanks. I've spent a lot of hours explaining my code right now on stream. I'm glad that there are some fruits to my labor. Is that the saying? I don't know. English is not my first language. Okay, so now that we've tried everything basically up here, we want to check which ones have the most positive outcomes. So and let's see what we then still need. We don't need to I think I can remove all of this. This can then go one step back. So for every item in our dictionary, so for every law of language, we want to count. We want to count all the responses that we have gotten so far, and then this is a wrong name for the variable. So this is going to be our response counter. This is what oops. This is what we are going to be using to order. So our response ordered, that's going to be like so, and then we basically only want to take the first item, because what the most common method will return is a list of all the possibilities, which is going to be either positive or neutral, and it's going to order it from most common to least common, but also have the amount of times that it has occurred. So that is something that we're interested in, but we're only interested in the thing that has occurred most, so that's why I'm indexing at 0. And yeah, I guess then we still want to keep the positive outcomes lists, because in the end I still only care if the most common one was positive. So our response ordered, if the response ordered indexed at 0, because our response ordered will return the string as well as the number of times that it has occurred, so we're only interested in the string. If that's equal to positive, then we want to append, I think we want to append our total response ordered to our list, because then we have the item in a dictionary. No, we don't have the item in the dictionary. Okay, we are interested in the item of the dictionary as well as the number of times it occurred. So we're going to append the lists with the item in the dictionary, I, as well as hi, Jack, Jack, welcome. We're also interested in the amount of times that it has occurred. So instead of indexing it at 0, we want to index it at 1. Because just like I said, the response ordered will consist of the string as well as the number of times it occurred. And I think so far this is looking pretty good. We are not there yet, but let's just test this out in the CodeWars test environment to check and see if it's even running at all. Yeah, okay, so we get a list from our print statement, acts and touch, and the amount of times that it has occurred, which is nice. It is interesting though. I'm not gonna look into this yet, but this is definitely gonna be an issue at some point where this is returning nothing. But at the same time, it should return touch, which is indeed an obvious response to expect, but it didn't. Oh, I think it's not returning anything. Oh yeah, because we are not returning anything in general. Okay, that makes sense, yeah. But then still, positive outcomes is empty. Learning Python or programming in general? I mean, am I not hitting two birds in one stone? With one stone? Just brushing up both. Brushing up both skills. I only care about Python though. I'm not familiar in any other programming language. Okay, let's see. You can return nothing due to check on line 24. Yeah, but I do feel like we need to check whether the most common occurrence is positive, because otherwise we don't care for it. You're asking per each key only once, so if all responses are neutral, you will get nothing. Yes, still on love language, yes indeed. Okay, what do you mean by you asking per key only once? So yeah, if all the responses are neutral. Oh, okay, no, I get it now, because it could be that everything has the most common be neutral, but then we still care about the most amount of positive. Fuck yeah. This is not an easy one. For loops iterate only once per each element of language. Oh yeah, no, that's true, because I removed my while loop. It's not gonna do anything indeed. Interesting. Yeah, me removing my while loop should have taken some more attention of me, because this is slightly fucking it up. Indeed, because we never exceeded the number of tries. We never saw that log in the first place. It may help your thinking if you were to split up the code into multiple functions, each function with one purpose. I mean, I get what you mean, but at the same time, I don't think it's gonna help me that much, because it's basically what I'm already doing in my head. Split it with with empty lines. I felt like I was already doing it with my comments in between, but I get what you mean. This is maybe a bit more clear. Could we do a recursive function here? Nah. It would overcomplicate things. Should I just add my while loop back in? Because at least it also like made it equal. Like this is also currently still an issue. Hi Arman. I hope you're having a better time than I am, because I'm getting close to being done here. It feels more like a statistics exam than a programming one. Yeah, but so far it's been kind of fun. Welcome, Matt, and welcome back to Nora's chair. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go back to a while loop. So, okay, we have a number of tries. We get as input the number of weeks, and we can try once every single day. I will send you the link because at this point I've explained this challenge quite a bunch of times. And it's an easy read through. Within a minute you would be able to understand, and it would take me quite some while to explain it again. But I'm glad you're interested. Currently, what I want to do is fix this code block where we have a number of tries, which is going to be the number of weeks that is provided as input to our function times 7, because we can try once a day. But we have 5 different things that we can try. So basically what I want is to try everything, but not try a thing more than other things. So I want to go per increment of 5. Hi, Code Defender, and welcome, Yuma Petty. Let's see. What I could do is I could create a variable called dict loops. Wanna buy cheap viewers? I haven't had any of those promotions in my chat today, actually. It's funny that you say. It was a lot earlier this week, yeah. Okay, so the number of times we can loop through our dict is tries times 5. Tries divided by 5. Would that work? Look at how many of us are not subbed. We are cheap already. All of you guys are cheap. I don't care. Do whatever the fuck you feel like. I'm not doing this for the money. I wouldn't be on Twitch if I were in it for the money. Okay, so let's say we have tries, which would be 18. And I want to know the number of tries divided by 5, because I want to know how much I can go completely through my whole dictionary. Let's see what it returns for tests. Okay, I want to have this be an integer. 3, that's nice, that's exactly what I want. Would you be open to a suggestion? That depends if I'm gonna like the suggestion, Rainy. No, yeah, you can. You can. Yeah, like this. Try to check how long are the lists in the dictionary at the end. Yeah, exactly. I'm fixing that, yeah. Welcome, Fizz Amp. I'm glad that you're enjoying yourself. You should simplify your code, not complicate it. I know, you are not the first person who told me. I'm currently trying to not overcomplicate it, but I guess based on your comment it's not working that well so far. Have a loop that iterates up to tries, then in the loop use modules 5 to test each one. Times divided by 5 is better, integer division and rounds to 0. Oh really? Wait, let me check. If we do tries is 18, test is tries, double divide by 5, then what is test? Test is 3 as well. Okay, fine, I'll then go for that solution. I have no clue why, but I'm not in the mood to try to understand why. what we know from reading this kata is there is no need to have an array of each love tick key, you just need a counter. Yeah, but you need to count the response. So first I want to save the response every single time and then count. Rainy says because then you just need to check which love language has the most points, and it's the main one. Yeah, that's kind of what we're doing, maybe in a bit of a not the best way. Okay, so what I want is I want a while loop. While my counter is less or equal than my dict loops, the amount of times that I can loop for my dictionary in its entirety. I want to loop for my dictionary in its entirety and then increase the counter with 1 every single time I go for my while loop. Then I will not have exceeded this, so I can also remove this and then replace it here. Okay, so what I think I've just done is we have a number of tries, but I wanna, within that number of tries, I wanna loop through all the possible methods, all the possible love languages at an equal amount of times. So there are 5 possibilities, so I want to divide the number of tries by 5 so I can loop through my dictionary completely. And then here I'm looping through my dictionary within the while loop, where we will check if the amount of loops is still within my constricted amount of tries. I think it's time for a break almost. That's what I'm saying. All you need to have a love tick words plus equals 1 or plus equals 0 based on the response. That else was needed also. I mean, do you understand what I mean by counter in this case or not? Anyway, what I will do for now is I'm gonna take a little break myself. I will be back in 2 minutes. In the meantime, I'll let you enjoy my cats. And in 2 minutes we can continue with the code. See you then. I am back. Hello. Senior developer cat? Oh yeah. You can tell he's a senior because he's just shitting. Let's see, anything of interest while I was gone? Soon the cat will wake up and finally fix this code. Damn, that's a dish as my coding skills. You can mimic it by creating the function yourself, yeah. Do you want head scratch or belly rub, senior cat? It depends. Okay, back to code. Are you stuck? He's so stuck with his nails right now. I can just tell. Wait, let me fix him. Because he's gonna be stuck in the blanket with his nails and he's gonna rip the blanket. So I will be back in like a second. Literally just give me a second and I will be back. By the way, if anybody is wondering why my cat has such long nails, it's because he's 17 years old. And no, I cannot cut them. Okay. I want to fix this, but I also want to be done with this, you know? Let's see, where was I even? What were we trying to do last? Oh yeah. Somebody said we could just have a counter instead of appending the response. My cat is only one and she drags blankets around the house with her long nails. I guess that's also an unfortunate thing about having very young cats. If you try to cut their nails, they're gonna be very active and not want you to do it. For him, it's the fact that he needs to be actually sedated in order for us to cut his nails, which we only do once a year. Because he's old and we need to, you know, not sedate him too much. So that's why they're long. He is terrible when it comes to cutting his nails. Like, he is 17, but once you start like trying to hold him in one place while touching his paws, it's like he is one, and he will be incredibly strong and agile and might be able to give himself a heart attack by the amount of activity that he will then do to make you not cut his nails. He is cute, but he's terrible at the same time. So yeah, just instead of having a list, maybe just have a counter for the positive responses. I think that's gonna be better indeed. Welcome, Mimi. Also, because what we've just seen is it could be the case that something returns mostly with a neutral response, but if everything returns with a mostly neutral response, we still need to figure out which one has the most positives. So then my method doesn't work at all. So we are checking right here. Let's see the partner response. So the response is partner.response to the item in our dictionary. And then if a response is equal to a positive one. Hi, Tarantis? Tarantis, that's quite a nice name. So if it's a positive response, then we take our love dictionary, we take the item that we're currently in, and then plus equals 1. I think that would work to make the counter go up. And then basically what we're doing is check the one with the most positive. So I think I can remove just like all of this. And then for... Okay, how to check this? So we have a dictionary now. If we've gone through all the number of tries that we could go through, we right now have a dictionary with the number of positive outcomes in the items, and the keys are the love languages. The keys are the ones that we need to pick one of with the most positive outcomes. So how to check the largest item in our dictionary? If your love dict is a counter, then you can simplify it with love dict is counter. I haven't worked that much with the counter object itself to fully understand what you're trying to do here, but yeah, I don't know if that would work. Yeah, I understand indeed, then we can use the most common, but the counter usually works on a list. Oh no, okay, then we could, instead of just having a dictionary, I could do it differently as well. You could sort the dict by count. A counter is a dict subclass. You should still be able to use it as a dictionary. Interesting. Yeah, but then we would restructure the code slightly, because I do feel like the counter and the most common method is the best one. Yeah, but I do like the more high-level solution compared to the low-level solution, I guess. So what we would then have is something different. We would have a positive tries, basically, which would be a list, and then for every item in our dictionary, I guess, still, if the response is positive, then we would like to add that item to our positive tries. Because what we could do then is... let's see how to structure this. Yeah, okay, we could then have our... I don't like this. This is gonna be our loop counter. Like so. And then right here, what I want is for our counter to be the positive tries. No, I want to use the function counter on our list positive tries, and then most positive would be the counter using the most common methods, and then from there we take the first item, which would be the most common, but that first item has the most common love language as well as the counter of that love language, so we only care about the string, not the amount. And then we would return the most positive. Maybe you prefer Love Dict to be a 2-element list with positive and neutral values. Well, with the current way we're going about it, it does not need to be a dictionary anymore, it just needs to be a list. Restructuring my whole code and it's about half the number of lines. I guess that's nice? I'm unsure. Okay, yeah, so I'm gonna reformat my dictionary to just be a list of all the items that we want to loop through. Okay, so what I think I have now is we have our love languages, which are these 5 items, and we need to check out which one has the most positive responses. Yeah, the list is called in the task love languages. Unfortunately, I cannot import it, which is annoying. So I also don't want to use it because I do not know exactly what it looks like at this point. So okay, we have a number of tries, but I want to loop through my dictionary completely, so I want to know how many times I can do 5 tries. That's going to be my loop counter, and the loop counter needs to be smaller than the maximum amount of times I can go through my whole list. And while that's still the case, that I can go through my list, what I will do is I will go through my list, check the response to the item in the list. If the response is positive, then the positive tries list will be populated with that love language. And then when this is all done, what I will do is I will count all the items in my positive tries list, and that will result in the string as well as the times it occurs. And then I want to check out the most positive by using the most common method. Kiamius is saying regarding the loop counter, since you are just incrementing it by 1 in each iteration, you can just replace it with the 4 in range. You don't have to worry about that variable. Yeah, but this works. That's probably a better way, but I am at this point also just curious if this works at all. Because to be honest with you, I am getting hungry, so I am getting done. I'm close to being done here. Positive tries is now a list. Will line 17 work? Hi, Revolt Twitch. Interesting name. Let's look at line 17. Oh, yeah, you're right. No, it's plus... Oh, yeah, it's, I guess, appending. Should append I would be the better way to go about it. Like so. I don't think that's gonna necessarily, however, resolve our current issue. Hi, Swippish? Welcome. Because currently we're trying it too many times. Yeah, I understand where you were coming from. It looks like a 1 indeed, but it was an I. But wait, I just changed it. Why is it not changed? I want it to be like so. Yeah, append I. It's better than plus equals I. Yeah, I is the item in our love lists. I'm so used to K. It's not a key anymore because instead of a dictionary, it right now is a list. But that's something that I've recently changed. I've been working with that fucking dictionary for 2 hours, and now in the past 5 minutes it has changed to a list, so I do understand the confusion. And why the fuck am I trying it too many times? My counter isn't working. While first loop is on 0, last on 5, you're iterating it plus 1 each time. It iterates 1 time too much. Line 12. Oh, because it needs to be less than the dict loops and not equal to. No, it could be equal to. Or this. Okay. I know that this is not gonna solve it, but I am. My brain power has left me at this point. Oh no, fuck, it actually works. You're starting at 0. I need to start at 1. That's why this now works, but it is indeed not the best way to go about it. Wait, let me fix this. Like so. This should work then. Yeah. Okay. Okay. We fucking did it, guys. That's it. We solved it basically. I just clicked on attempt, and it did it. Oh, I didn't expect this fucking challenge to be lasting for like over 2 hours. There is a reason why my streams are always at the maximum of 2 hours long. Because after 2 hours, I am hungry. And currently, I am hungry. And I eat right before the stream. The first thing I'm gonna do after I have rated you guys out is I'm gonna eat again. I hate myself. Anyway, yeah. We started with a way too difficult solution, and eventually, like this way of going about it, this came to light in like the past 20 minutes or so, and this was just the better way to go about it, I guess. Indeed, like everybody was saying, I was overcomplicating it. And the moment we tried to simplify it, we ended up on this solution, and this makes a lot more sense, yeah. This is, I mean, I definitely recommend doing Code Wars. I mean, if you don't treat it like it's lead code, like I just treat it as, oh, it's, you know, something fun to learn about and to look at it in a different way, then yeah, it's a lot of fun. And I must also say that the fact that I really like about it is when you hit practice, you can of course, you know, sort in a lot of different languages and difficulty, but also in like different categories, like mathematics, efficient coding, fundamentals, stuff like that. Hi, Limey Orange, you are late. No, we're not still on this problem because I just solved it basically. like just 5 minutes ago. You seem like a MC1er gene mutant holder, so I welcome you. Thank you for being a part of this Earth. The fuck are you talking about? Oh, wait, let me Google this. Because this is the second time you're saying it. I do notice what you're saying, chat. MC1... Are you talking about the fact that I'm a ginger? If I hear mutant, then I think ginger. Yeah, I think you're saying that I'm a ginger. Anyway, welcome. Oh, now, Dragon Meow, you are convinced to follow me. I see you've been in chat this whole time. I know you've been enjoying yourself, but thanks for the follow. Yeah, you are one too. Nice. Yeah. And hi to Eleven. Elon the chicken. Well, you have become a springhaan. I don't know what it is in English. You've become one of the animals across my screen, but you're a grass, I think. You're not an elephant. Yeah, we solved Code Wars. We have solved the entire site. We have solved all the challenges. No, we solved this one that I was that I've been trying to solve for 2 days, basically. It was fun though. I learned a lot. And you know, this was also the last stream for a while. Next stream will be next week, Wednesday, so I guess it will be for a while. Hi. VR Stan Chef? Why am I not English? Good question. Why did I not been born in a different country? I don't know. Yeah, I didn't ask why. Lol. Oh, seriously? Oh, yeah. My reading skills are not the greatest sometimes. No, I'm not English. No. Yeah, exactly. I've solved Code Wars. There's nothing more to solve. No lines of code more to write. Every developer can go home now. I have solved the love language function, which means that I have solved all the issues in the world. Yeah. Yeah, we can now all be like Kitty, take up the whole bed, spread out, and just chill. Just chill. Yeah, of course. I'm Dutch. I'm from the Netherlands. Hi, welcome. I did my orange cat give it a... My orange hair give it away. So yeah, this is the last programming stream of the week. I'll be back on Wednesday. It's in my schedule, but I'm not sure what time yet, so keep up to date. If you want to keep up to date about the stream in general, go to our Discord. You heard some Dutch? Yeah, I definitely fault myself on sometimes using some Dutch words in there. Yeah. Bye, Rainy. Yeah, since there are still some people here, I guess we can rate you out if you want to. Do we have any suggestions to people that we can rate out to? Bye-bye, everybody. Thank you for being here. Let's see who is currently coding. I'll come earlier tomorrow. I'm not live tomorrow. I'm sorry. I'm not live tomorrow. The cat channel is not live. Fuck. Wait, are they feeding the llamas? Yeah, they're feeding llamas. Okay, guys, I have an amazing stream that I'm gonna rate you out to. Wait, the screen is currently black. Oh, because it's showing me an ad. there is a live stream, which is very nice. They are currently feeding the llamas. They are feeding baby llamas. So together we are gonna watch this. I'm gonna rate you out to there. Thanks again. By the way, the music stops because the playlist is done. Thank you for being here. Thank you for chatting. I hope to see you next week. Bye.
Hello, Nora. Welcome back. Welcome, Raiders.